On this week's Saturday edition of the Top 10, we have a lot to cover today. Lord of the Rings sales are starting to stall. It's a conversation we're going to have. We're going to follow through with the top 10 selling cards of the week and look at the financial implications of cards like this with their sales dropping this quickly, what it means for you, and if you can get a good deal on some of these cards a couple of weeks from now. As much as we like to say things change, they still stay the same. Welcome back, guys. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me on the channel for another top 10 video. But before we get to the hottest selling cards in Magic this week, we have got to talk about what's going on with Lord of the Rings. There's a lot to unpack here. We already know it's the best-selling set in recent history. As far as I can tell and everything I'm looking at, this thing's outdoing War of the Spark. It is outdoing Khans of Tarkir. It is blowing most sets that I track out of the water. Okay, phenomenal sales everywhere. Wizards, you made a lot of money. Be happy. But the shine, the glare, the is wearing off. Okay, the precious has been found, and now players are kind of wondering what they should be doing with their money, because apparently they had a lot of cash to spare because they bought a lot of this product. But now, what do? Now we see the product having slowing sales, and this is really for sealed product as well as the singles market. So in the sealed side of things, if you go and look on TCG Player, your local store, as soon as that thing was announced and found, about 72 hours later, everything starts falling off. Things that are already being shipped out are being shipped out, but it went from having hundreds of sales a day to like 6, 7, 8, 10 sales. Okay, local stores, I knew were having 20, 30 sales of collector boxes a week, which was a lot for these stores, is now getting one or none. Draft and set is at a standstill, which I did not expect. That's just like, nothing moving. So I was kind of surprised. Like, I think those are going to be sitting on shelves. These poor, awesome sets, they're not going anywhere, okay? Commander decks are still actually selling okay, so great there. But now let's touch on the singles. We already know from the last few weeks that Lord of the Rings has ruled my top 10 videos. The sheer volume of sales is something we have never seen on the channel. And now the counts are in, and they're a lot less. I'll show you as we go through the top 10, but they have really fallen off. The sales are stalling overall across the entire product lineup, other than the Commander decks. They're still selling, remember. So that leads us now to what comes next. Well, a lot of players I know are kind of now sitting on the sidelines, biting their nails, going, what comes up with Commander Masters? They really want to start seeing the spoilers to see, should I maybe buy a few more Lord of the Rings cards, save for a few reserve list cards, maybe just save up some cash and pay down some bills? Or is there something, behind door number one that I really want to get my hands on? So they're waiting. And they're also starting to now hear the little bit of an echo for Wilds of Eldraine. A very well thought of set that has a lot of potential to really hit home for a lot of players. And people want to know what's coming down the pipe there as well. They're waiting to see those preliminary spoilers, which gives people a lot of pause about anything to do with buying sealed product, buying expensive cards, when they know the prices are going to fall. When you look at the singles market, and a lot of these cards are cheap already, it is starting to now backlog the system. We are seeing a lot of cards show up on store shelves in multiple copies, which means somewhere in the next 20 days when stores got to clear things out, you're going to see sales, deals, they're going to lower buy lists, and you're going to get a deal on anything you want from Lord of the Rings. So keep your eye out. Now, that doesn't go for the One Ring. I know the One Ring thing is going kind of crazy right now for the actual One Ring card you can get in like the boosters and stuff. Crazy stuff to see that thing's selling so well. But we'll see how that plays out later on, because it can be found, right? It's still out there. And as people get bored, this thing kind of will go on sale and go on the market. So keep your eye out. I don't expect those prices to hold for the entire time. And if it did, they're going to reprint that thing as fast as possible. Keep that in mind. So now, we're going to get to our top 10 here. We're going to start counting things down. And it's interesting to see which card came out on top this week and which card ended at number 10. So let's get a look. Let's get a look at this, see what we think, and of course, drop those comments in the comment section. Let me know how you guys are feeling about what's going on there right now, because it's interesting to have these conversations, and we got to keep on top of things. All right, let's get this party started. The number 10 position this week is taken by Horn of the Mark. Now this card has an average price of $1.35. The market price is $1.41. A foil is $1.51 US. €1.71 to get this card into your house. It's around $2 here in Canada. This card, of course, is a 2 casting cost generic legendary artifact. Whenever 2 or more creatures you control attack a player, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from amongst them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in any random order. Now, a card like this will see play in Commander because you can choose different opponents that can't block. It's a great card to have, but there's not enough drive to bring that value up right now. It's a card that get 4 of, enjoy, and just hold on to. Now, the number 9 card, Minas Tirith, is another interesting card with 1,606 sales this week. The average price is $3.58 US. The market price is $3.85 US. A foil, again, same thing, $3.83. They're all too close together. €4.03 to get this card into your house. And here in Canada, a card like this is only going to cost you about $5. I actually really enjoy the artwork. I like the ability of the card, although I think it's a little bit limited right now until they can find a way of really rigging this kind of card to work. But it's going to be seen in Commander decks for sure. Now, the number 8 card this week is new to the top 10. This card has not been here in the past, but here we are looking at it, and that is War of the Last Alliance. Now, 1,783 sales this week, and the average price is $1.25. When we take a closer look at the card, though, this is a 1 white and 3 generic. It's a saga card. The number 1 and number 2 are search your library for a legendary creature card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle. And then, of course, the last at level 3 is creatures you control gain double strike until end of turn, and the ring tempts you. This is the kind of card you're going to see inside knight decks, inside soldier decks, because it lets them look for legendary creatures they may need, and of course, giving your stuff double strike. This is kind of like an add-on card. It doesn't have a lot of value, but it will see play. Keep that stuff in mind, okay? Expect to see in those kind of tribal themes over the next couple of years. Now, the number 7 card this week is Battle of the Bywater. Now, this card has 1,984 sales this week. The average price is only $1. The market price is 89 cents. A foil is $1.14, 71 euro to get this card into your house, and it's about $1.50 here in Canada. What I find interesting about this card is it is like Retribution of the Meek. It's almost an exact copy of the card in so many ways, where it says, for 2 white and 1 generic, this card says destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater. Then create a food token for each creature you control. And of course, it says each artifact is 2 tap. You get that part. But look at the card, and Retribution of the Meek basically buries every creature with power 4 or greater. So this one says 3 or greater. So in some ways, this card is superior almost, depending on how you build your deck. But the best part is you can have both these cards in the construction of a deck that can really mess people up. It's a very cheap card, and for a board clearance, this is an amazing card that, of course, some players are starting to add into their decks because the sales show us that players see the potential of cards like this. Now, number 6 this week is still the Delighted Halfling, 2,294 sales. Things are starting to uptick. This card has gained a little bit of value over the week, and a lot of players are still seeking this card out, and I'm not surprised, okay? It has varying uses. Players are kind of enjoying it, and if it doesn't get a printing, kind of as it rotates out, it's going to have a lot more appeal and the price is going to spike. Wizards may choose to nurture that IP, so within a 24-month period, it'll come around again as a reskinned card. Number 5 this week is Entis Restoration with 2,584 sales this week. It costs less than $1 to buy this card. We have talked about, though, because it is a decent card. For 1 green, 2 generic, this instant says sacrifice a land, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards and put them onto the battlefield tapped. Then shuffle. But if you control a creature card with power 4 or greater, instead search your library for up to 3 basic land cards. This is a great thinning card tactic, great ramp to have around. It is a good card. It's going to see play. Okay, this is an amazing card. I think it's underrated because it's just 1 green. It can be splashed into so many things. Now, number 4 this week is still Call of the Ring. Now, this thing has 2,794 sales this week. The price has started to uptick on this card with an average price of $8.28 US, market price of $7.80. A foil is $9.18. €4.94 to get this card into your house. And of course, here in Canada, it's like a $12 card. Now, the card itself is still fairly decent, and of course, people trying to build ring decks are really having fun with this stuff. They like the idea of drawing cards. It makes perfect sense. It's going to be sought after, just like the One Ring. Now, number 3 this week is still hanging in there, Orcish Bowmasters. 2,987 sales. The price is still upticking on this card. I would not recommend buying this card at this time. I want to see how the card balances out. It can't really go above 50 bucks without being a prime target for like, let's reprint it instantly. So expect this card to either get a banning because it's too popular, or it's going to get reprinted super fast and just kill the value off. Either way, it's a card I would stay away from right now, okay? If you get one, sell it, get the value out of it, move on to something else, and just keep it on a spreadsheet for either if it gets banned or drops in price. Crazy card, crazy card. Now, number 2 this week was number 1 last week, and this is Flowering of the White Tree. So we do have a new number 1 card this week. This card still had 3,125 sales this week. Average price $5.76, market price $5.55. Now, when we look at this card, and by the way, $8 here in Canada. When you look at this card, it's decent, okay? Don't get me wrong. We've talked about this card enough on the channel. Artwork's fine. The card does have uses, and it just shows how Wizards is pushing legendary creatures. I love the fact it gets Ward as well, but they're pushing legendary creatures. Keep that stuff in mind. Now, you've made it this far, so it's time to go check out the number 1 card, which is very interesting this week because it's Mithril Coat. And of course, this is a commander card. We're going to talk about this. 3,679 sales. The card is slowly upticking in price, and there's actually a little bit of problem with some stock in some place where it's actually been sold out. So keep it in mind, if you have the card, it's probably going to go up a little bit more. When we take a closer look, it is a 3 casting cost artifact, legendary piece of equipment. Equip is 3 as well, but it has flash. So it says, when Mithril Coat comes into the battlefield, attach it to a legendary creature you control. See, legendary, legendary, legendary. Everything's legendary creature with this set. Equipped creature has indestructible. They knew this card would have value, Wizards of the Coast. They knew it was going to be sought after. They knew players would want it. It's probably going to start going up to around the $10, $12, $15 level if it sees a lot of play and if it stands the test of time. Wizards may choose to reprint a card like this and get some IP equity out right away. They like pieces of equipment like this being super cheap. Okay, just like the Swiftwood boots. They want this stuff out there. They want players playing with it. So be aware of that. If you're somebody who's trying to speculate on it, I would not hold on to a card like this long time. Either way, looking at the cards we see this week, there's definitely almost a 50% decline in a lot of the sales as players are making different decisions or just holding back now to see what comes next and what next piece of FOMO they have to worry about. So thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out on the channel. If you're new to the channel and you enjoyed today's content, please don't forget to like and subscribe the video, join the channel, turn your notification bells on because each and every person matters on my channel. Love having you guys here, and everyone who subscribes is helping the channel get closer to 20,000 subscribers. So thanks. I appreciate everyone who takes the time to do it and checks out the content every day. Guys, it's amazing to be here. Thanks again. Looking forward to tomorrow for the reserve list top 10 and the crazy stuff going on there in the backdrop. We got to talk about some cards like Arabian Nights. We got stuff going on. I'll see you guys soon. What? We're at the credits already? These are all the amazing patrons I talk about all the time, like who are amazing people who support my channel? Where'd the video go? It's over? That's okay, the patrons are here. So thanks again to the fantastic patrons of my channel. You guys are amazing, you know it's true. Sometimes things get a little bit crazy. What can you say? Life throws you something, try to catch it. If not, pick up the fumble afterwards. So here we are at the end of the video. Ramble jamble time. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And I ran out of coffee a long time ago. Here we are in a Saturday edition, guys, and I gotta say, it's crazy to see how these things unfolding around us and how player reactions are, but it's telling of the times, where the attention span moves from hype to hype, right? It's great, because all these cards are gonna be cheap. Take advantage of it. I've already picked up a whole bunch at like a couple of bucks a piece. I got play sets of 4. I can use them for commander decks, but I can also hold on to a play set in case I want to build anything for modern, or any of my fun decks so I play with friends. Kitchen table stuff, as well as just playing Lord of the Rings straight only decks. Kind of crazy though. I don't know. Prices? Weird time to be in Magic, but it's so exciting at the same time. Love this stuff. I love it. Yeah. Anything else? I don't think I got anything. I don't think I have anything else right now. I didn't go see Indiana Jones. I didn't go see the Flash movie. Sometimes life is just disappointing that way when it comes to Marvel films. But I heard we might be getting a new Iron Man film, so I got excited. I'll see you guys soon. Have an awesome day.